2025 has been a little playful in the best anime way possible. We have had slick assassin dads, cosmic horror in sleepy towns, dystopias that smell like gasoline and gunpowder, and one donghua that looks like it crawled out of a Victorian seance with a Bloodborne-sized chip on its shoulder. New heavyweights have arrived, sequels have leveled up, and a few underdogs walked in, kicked the door open, and said, "We are anime of the year now." Before we begin, do us a quick favor, if you haven't already, show some love by clicking that subscribe button and smashing the bell icon. It costs you nothing but means the world to us content creators. Now, let's dive into the top 10 contenders that could honestly snatch the crown for Anime of the Year 2025 so far. No hard ranking, just 10 shows swinging for the title, and yes, a little roast where it's due. 1. Solo Leveling Season 2, Arise from the Shadow. Let's address the elephant in the room right away. The series continues to follow Sung Jin-woo's journey from the weakest hunter of all mankind to one of the strongest hunters in existence. The fanbase remains massive and passionate, but discussions around the series have grown increasingly polarized. Critics argue it sacrifices narrative depth for visual spectacle, reducing the complex manhwa to a highlight reel of fight scenes. Fans counter that they're here precisely for Jin-woo's glow-up and those glorious moments of overpowered dominance. The animation quality remains top tier, with A1 Pictures delivering some of the most visually stunning action sequences of the year. The Arise from the Shadow arc introduces key characters and expands the world building beyond the initial dungeon crawling. While it may not be the most intellectually stimulating entry on this list, its cultural impact is undeniable. Love it or hate it, Solo Leveling has dominated conversations throughout winter and spring 2025, making it an immediate contender. Why it can win. It's the neon sign of 2025. Bright, bold, impossible to ignore. Few shows command the timeline like this. Why can't it? The series sometimes treats dialogue like cool-down time between cutscenes, but when the orchestra hits and the camera orbits, you forgive it. 2. The Apothecary Diaries Season 2. The series follows Mao Mao, a young maiden kidnapped and sold into servitude at the Emperor's palace, where she secretly employs her pharmacist skills to solve medical mysteries. What makes this season truly special is how it balances its Mystery of the Week format with an overarching narrative that delves into court politics, personal relationships, and Mao Mao's own backstory. The animation maintains its distinctive aesthetic, with vibrant colors contrasting with the often dark subject matter. Why it can win. Craft. It's not just smart, it respects your attention. World building and relationships locked together like fine joinery. Why can't it? It's not flashy, and if you snack on constant sakuga, the restraint may feel like a diet. You might occasionally zone out during the medical jargon, but you'll nod along pretending you totally get those herbal remedies. 3rd Dan Da Dan Season 2. The series follows two high schoolers who investigate ghosts and aliens, ironically proving each other's supernatural beliefs right. What makes this season a real contender isn't just the top-tier animation or absurd visuals, the characters develop genuine depth amidst the chaos, and the relationship between Momo and Okarun evolves in surprisingly heartfelt ways. The action sequences are some of the most inventive and dynamic in recent memory, blending supernatural elements with jaw-dropping choreography. Director Masaki Yuasa's influence is felt throughout, with the series embracing its weirdest impulses while never losing sight of its emotional core. Dan Da Dan isn't just loud and weird, it's loud, weird, and very close to being one of 2025's best. Why it can win. Its animation is so gloriously chaotic that it feels like a fever dream you never want to end. Why can't it? Watching Dan Da Dan is like chugging 5 energy drinks and then riding a roller coaster through a haunted theme park. You're not entirely sure what's happening. The weirdness factor is so high that even aliens and ghosts are confused. 4. Kaiju No. 8. Imagine being the only guy in your friend group who hasn't achieved his childhood dream, only to accidentally become the very monster you promised to destroy. This series follows Kafka Hibino, a washed-up 32-year-old who cleans up kaiju remains for a living while his childhood friend Mina Ashiro commands the defense force as its superstar captain. After a freak accident gives him the ability to transform into a kaiju while keeping his human consciousness, a monster fighting monsters while trying to keep his secret hidden from the very organization he wants to join. The animation studio Production YG has consistently delivered jaw-dropping sequences that balance weighty kaiju smash-ups with Kafka's endearing comedic reactions. The series thrives on this duality. One moment you're watching a brutal, physics-defying battle between kaiju and mech-suited soldiers, and the next you're laughing at Kafka's internal panic as he tries to maintain his cover. The supporting cast adds depth to the chaos, from the fiercely loyal Rino Ichikawa to the suspiciously perceptive Vice Captain Soshiro Hoshina, whose duel with Kafka's kaiju form in earlier episodes remains one of the most beautifully choreographed fights in recent memory. Why it can win? It's the complete package. Spectacle with heart. The series combines gorgeous animation with a uniquely relatable protagonist who's neither a teenager nor a chosen one, just a determined guy who caught a weird break. Why can't it? At times, the series leans a bit too hard on shonen tropes we've seen before. The training arcs, the power level discussions, and the occasional pacing issues. 5. Lord of Mysteries. Forget fast-paced action. Lord of Mysteries is a slow, creeping fog of a show that envelops you in its gothic gas lamp world and refuses to let go. The magic system is a highlight. It's called the Potion Pathway, and it turns magical ascension into a terrifying, meticulous science project where one wrong step can turn you into a screaming monster. It's not about screaming power-ups, it's about careful study, cryptic rituals, and terrifying consequences. The show isn't frantic, it's surgical, building its tension with a master's patience. And when it finally decides to gouge up the floorboards and show you what's been lurking underneath the entire time, it delivers that chilling oh no thrill that only the best horror fantasy can achieve. Why it can win. Vibes and bones beneath the vibes. The aesthetics are exquisite, the cosmology is chewy, and it's immaculate at making you lean forward. Why can't it? Early episodes take their sweet time. If you mainline shonen pacing, this one may feel like a Victorian carriage ride. Sit with it. The destination is worth the leather seats. 6. Takopi's original sin. What if a cute, bubbly alien fell from the sky with the simple goal of making everyone happy, and instead accidentally opened a factory for manufacturing pure, unadulterated trauma? It starts with bright colors and childish innocence, and then, without mercy, feeds it all through a meat grinder of cause and effect, time loops, and heartbreaking consequences. The show is ruthlessly efficient. By compressing its source material into a short run, it trades all filler for pure, concentrated emotional recoil. This is the kind of show you finish in one sitting and then just stare at your ceiling for half an hour, questioning all your life choices. Why it can win. It achieves maximum emotional devastation per minute, a feat that leaves an indelible mark on everyone who braves its run. Why can't it? Its unrelenting bleakness is a hard sell. It's the anime equivalent of scheduling a root canal for your soul. 7. The Summer Hikaru Died. In terms of originality, nothing comes close to The Summer Hikaru Died. The series follows two teenage boys, Yoshiki and Hikaru, whose friendship is tragically altered when something not quite human takes over Hikaru's body after a mountain accident. What makes this series exceptional is how it balances existential dread with genuine emotional weight. The relationship between the two leads feels authentic, making the horror elements land with greater impact. It's a slow burn narrative that rewards patience, building an atmosphere of unease that lingers long after each episode ends. The animation style perfectly complements the tone, with muted colors giving way to moments of surreal visual horror. Director Hiroshi Hamasaki, known for Textual Eyes and serial experiments, Lane brings his expertise in psychological storytelling to create one of the most distinctive viewing experiences of the year. Why it can win. Its blend of horror and heartfelt storytelling is so unique it could haunt awards voters into submission. Why can't it? The slow burn pacing might leave action fans checking their watches instead of their pulse. 8. Gachiakuda has emerged as 2025's surprise hit, captivating audiences with its brutal world and raw emotional intensity. The story follows Rudo, a young boy falsely accused of murder who is dumped into an abyss filled with society's trash, where he discovers a special power related to discarded objects. What makes Gachiakuda so powerful is its uncompromising vision. The world building is intricate and immersive, presenting a society divided between the privileged who live above and the outcasts who survive in the trash-filled depths below. The animation style combines 3D and 2D elements in a way that enhances rather than distracts from the storytelling. The series has drawn comparisons to early Attack on Titan for its willingness to embrace dark themes and brutal violence. While it's still midway through its run, the groundwork it's laid so far could make it one of the year's biggest triumphs if it sticks the landing. Why it can win. It's a brutal, trash world gem that proves shonen can still innovate without sacrificing emotional depth. Why can't it? Gachiakuda is like if someone took Environmental Studies 101 and turned it into a brutal fight for survival. It's the trashiest anime of the year, literally, but in the best way possible. 10. To Be Hero X. Imagine if a superhero's power level was directly tied to their social media clout, and reality itself was just a glitchy app that could be rewritten by whoever was trending. This show is a wild, genre-bending anthology where each episode feels like a brand new series, all loosely threaded by a larger, mind-bending mystery about the nature of stories and fame. The animation itself is a character, constantly shifting styles to match the tone of each story. It's a production flex of the highest order, the kind of project where you can picture the directors high-fiving because they somehow got away with it. The satire is sharp, poking fun at everything from influencer culture to corporate greed, and the philosophy actually stings in a way that makes you think. Every episode dares you to guess what you're watching, and then it gleefully proves you wrong. It's the poster child for the idea that animation isn't a genre, it's a medium where anything is possible. Why it can win. Risk-taking. It's formally playful without losing emotional weight, and the world building is memeable and meaningful. Why can't it? Anthology structure means not every episode's a banger. When it experiments and whiffs, you feel it. But when it connects, oof, it goes viral in your brain. Bonus, Heat check movies that don't qualify but dominate 2025. We're talking series today, so we're not ranking movies, but let's be honest. The cultural gravity of Demon Slayer. Infinity Castle is warping the calendar. Premiering theatrically across regions in August-September, it's the multiplex event of the year and a conversation hog. If we were mixing films with TV, it'd be throwing elbows at the top of this list. Honorable mentions. Before we conclude, let's quickly acknowledge some other 2025 standouts that barely missed our top 10. Blue Box Season 2. This sports romance continues to deliver heartwarming moments and exciting badminton action. Windbreaker Season 2. Surprisingly deep character development elevates this cycling anime above typical sports fare. So, who is the frontrunner so far? It depends on which flavor of greatness you're craving. If we had to stamp a coin today, the safest anime of the year bets are Kaiju No. 8, Sakamoto Days, Apothecary Diaries Season 2, or Lord of Mysteries depending on whether you want balanced brilliance, literary intrigue, or gothic prestige. But this year's weirdly stacked and Solo Leveling Season 2 both have the mass appeal artillery to run the table, while Takop could emotionally headshot the judges. And do not sleep on To Be Hero X, it has the chaotic genius to steal trophies in a heist episode about stealing trophies. 2025 isn't just a good anime year, it's one of those rare seasons where the medium shows range. Blockbuster power fantasies, patient political mysteries, jittery sci-fi thrillers, and horror that makes the sun feel suspicious. We've got sequels that didn't coast and newcomers that didn't blink. So, which one's your anime of the year right now, and which dark horse are you quietly rooting for to sprint the last lap? Drop your top 3 in the comments, tell me what I overrated politely-ish, and what I criminally missed. This is Anime Dungeon, your home for breakdowns, deep dives, and top-tier countdowns. Stay weeb, stay curious, and we'll see you in the next video.